don't know who I am, but I know all about you. I've come to talk to you tonight about the things I've seen you do. I've come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth. There is a woman we both know. I think you know the one I mean. She gave her heart and soul to you. You gave her only broken dreams. You say you're not the one.
All right, good evening, folks. What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? A little special nighttime segment. Woohoo! Cold Hard Truth. Live and direct at night. Y'all not used to this. Remember when we first started out back in the day, it was actually a nighttime show? Do y'all remember that? Oh my gosh. Wow, that was way back when. So listen, decided to do a quick little live feed tonight to just bring everybody up to speed on some stuff that's going on. Just got a phone call and it kind of made me think, you know what? Some people are woefully confused. So let me just take a couple minutes to kind of set the record straight. All right. So on Saturday, Friday, obviously we had quite an interesting show. We'll pick up some more comments in relation to that on tomorrow's morning show. So I don't really want to get too into that, but let's just say turn up on a Sunday. No, man, no, we're going to be respectful of the holy day, yo. But listen, we had a very, very interesting show on Friday for sure. Lots of things came out. And, you know, let's be honest here, folks, when you tell the truth, not everybody likes the truth. People get up in their feelings. They get upset. So apparently I've upset probably 50% of the Church for Christ. Church of Christ, Badabanu people. You know, I can't really help them. I don't know what to tell them. Because, you know, they just need to do the right thing in that situation. But on Saturday, they started circulating a document, and the timing is interesting that it came after this case that is a 4-year-old document in relation to my, the one conviction that they got me on record, which is in relation to Matthew Leslie, claiming that I use the ICT network to harass, annoy, whatever, Section 90 of the ICT law. So they started circulating that. I'm aware that good old cousin Sherry Ann, boy, you can count on her to be the queen of misinformation. But she's thick in the mix of it, getting it all wrong, and going out there trying to, oh, look, Sandy's back. She's going to come back in court and blah, blah. So I just wanted to clarify a couple things so that we can put this to bed and just get this straight. First of all, I don't have any expectations of someone like her. Listen, today I am inundated here at my desk. I'm circulated by legal documents left, right, and center. Here's my case, the decision, the verdict judgment, 29 pages. I've got notes. That's another 100 and I don't know how many pages. This is quite a few pages here. That's another 26 pages. I've got all sorts of documents here, sentencing, judgment, the whole 9 yards, right? Doing transcription and, you know, putting my documentation together because, as you guys know, I won the right to appeal this case. So I, from day one, always felt like this verdict was wrong. In fact, as the verdict came in, I fired my attorney. I had concerns about him from the onset. I fired him and I handled the sentencing part of it myself. Probably would have gotten a much worse sentence had I relied upon his, you know, amateur skills to get me through that second part of it. So got rid of him, represented myself, which is something that I had gotten used to for numerous years and had been very, very successful at. It's kind of ironic that the time I decide to hire a lawyer is when I lose, because his level of competence was, what's that? Something else. So in any event, I filed my notice to appeal. Now we're coming up on, we're going to finally have the appeal hearing on the 9th of September. So there are people who don't understand the process. Like I said, they don't have a law degree, certainly. They don't have a bachelor's degree. They don't have an associate's degree. They don't have any common sense. They don't know anything about the law. They probably never read a piece of legislation. They've never read a case. All they know is, oh my God, Sandy's going to be in court. They don't know that's me appealing. So it's me now, basically going up against the DPP to say, no, wait a minute. This case is the conclusion here is wrong, and here's the reasoning why. So I just want to clarify that, because somehow they're trying to push this narrative out there like I'm in court again. Oh, that's a bad thing. No, actually, this is a good thing, because, in my opinion, and I won't get into the legal reasons why, it's open court. You guys are invited. I'd love for you to come and see me stand before the Court of Appeal and represent myself as best as I can. But, it is my opinion that the court got it wrong during the trial. So I'm appealing that, and I'm going to do my best to get the conviction overturned. Somebody jokingly said to me that I need to go and talk to Cartel's lawyers because, that's what Cartel did. His lawyers fought hard for him, and they end up getting his case overturned. He's a free man. Thankfully, this was not something that landed me in jail. But, it is something that, in my opinion, still hangs over your head. And it's so funny because when people want to try to come at me with something, the first thing they're going to do, oh, yeah, well, she lost that case. And I'm like, if you understood the details of the case, if you even looked at any of it, you would see how even objectively anybody could see that there's some serious concerns with this case. So I'm going to do my best. Thank you very much, First Lady Jeanne. She says all the best. I'm going to do my best to represent myself on the 9th. I've, like I said, been inundated all day. I feel like I'm back in law school. Trust me, the brain, all these years later, I'm no longer that young. The brain is being taxed today. And it's kind of like, oh man, not legal documents again. But it is what it is. And I'm going to give it my best. And I hope to have this unfair verdict, not unfair, but unreasonable verdict overturned. That's the correct legal word, right? And so I hope to have this overturned. What that will mean, I'm not really sure. Just like Cartel, it could mean that it gets vacated completely. It could mean that they say to the DPP's office, well, you have a second shot, try it all over again. And then that's a matter for the DPP's office. So that's where we're at. That's what's going on. I'm submitting, all of my skeleton arguments and stuff like that to the court, because you have to do written submissions first. And then, yes, I will be in court on the 9th, and, Court of Appeal. It's a pretty big deal, actually, to even get the Court of Appeal to agree. I don't know what percentage of cases they agree to hear, but they have agreed to hear my appeal. And so I'm going to you can't win if you don't take your shot. So I'm going to be taking my shot. And I'll certainly let you guys know. So in more general terms, I think it's important for me to say this, because I don't know why people think when it comes to me and the courts or the judiciary, listen, they've come at me so many times now, I've lost count. It started back in 2010 with the dog theft case, a dog that, by all accounts, I had actually rescued and even notified the police to help me find the lawful owner. They then tried to claim that I stole the dog, which is ludicrous. The case got thrown out. There's been so many cases that they brought against me that have, just consistently been thrown out by the courts. And I think that says plenty, that all the other cases have not even reached the threshold of me having to mount a defense. I've never gotten to the point where I've had to okay, let me get my defense case together, except for this one case. Everything else was just thrown out. The judge is like, this is ridiculous. It doesn't meet the level of what the court requires. They threw them all out. So I've got 2 cases pending. There is still the one with John Felder. And obviously, for obvious reasons, I can't talk about that one at all, really. And that's going to be coming up, I think, late in the year for trial. And that will be a jury trial. And then I have this one, which is Court of Appeal. So that will be a panel of 3 judges that will actually be hearing it. So, I'm looking forward to the experience. I've never done anything like this before, so it'll definitely be new for me. It'll be a learning experience. And, I'm always the first person. Those of you who know me will know from day one, from way back with the dog theft case, as I get arrested, like I'm in handcuffs and I'm posting it on social media. This is long before CMR started, but I'd be the first one. I'm here at the station. I was just arrested. I'm posting my mugshot and everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything to hide when it comes to the judiciary. The process is relatively transparent. Anybody can show up to court and anybody can watch the proceedings from the first time you go where they, hand you your indictment papers and, every time you go for a mention. I actually encourage more people to go to court to learn how it works, to see how it works. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are like woefully misguided about the process. And, they don't understand the various steps of how things work and how you can appeal decisions and all this sort of thing. On the one hand, there's nothing to be afraid of, especially if you didn't do anything wrong. Like, what are you going to be afraid of? So I just wanted to briefly address that this evening. Tomorrow morning show, usual time, 7:30 in the morning. We'll be ready, obviously, and we'll have a good show. But yeah, I mean, people are trying to make it out to be something that it's really not. And I've had people call me like, oh, they're circulating this document. I'm like, listen, they will be perfectly fine. They'll be all right. I'm going to be fine. They're going to be fine. And, someone said to me, what happens if you lose? Well, nothing happens because I've already paid the $3,000 fine. It was 4 years ago. I paid it way before the due date. Everything's cool. We've all moved on in a lot of sense. I just feel that it's unjust to allow this to stand on my record. And that's why I'm appealing it. Nothing's going to happen. It's not like they're going to go, oh, well, you appealed it and lost. So therefore we're going to revise, the sentence or something like that. No, that's not what's going to happen here. So just a little bit of FYI, you guys have a good night. Get to bed early tonight, kids. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys in the morning for the usual show at 7:30 a.m. So all of those people, Sherry Ann and the rest of you who's spreading misinformation, feel free to share this if you care to know the real deal. I would invite you to help me write some of my legal submissions, but I doubt you could get past the first paragraph. So we'll just leave it there, and I'll see you guys in the morning. All right. Thank you so much. See you guys later. Have a good night.